Welcome back to In Case You Missed It. I am Jose Patiño with Aliento. This season is graduation season. I have gone to several of them. Still, my favorite moment is to see the parents and the family celebrating and screaming and yelling as loud as they can in support of their student. So if you're a student, keep at it. I know that be challenging and you're like, I want to give up during finals, keep at it. And if you're a parent or a mentor, please keep supporting the students. So let's get started. So the first topic we're going to talk about is DACA and DACA delays. I know that there's been a lot of DACA's been on the news because DACA recipients are being arrested or being deported or being detained. People are losing their DACA status and are kind of signing off on the last day of work. But we're going to provide a little bit of context information that we know. So during the election of 2024, the Heritage Foundation pulled out a project called Project 2025. And within that aligned the blueprint, if Mr. Trump were to win re-election, what were the things that he wanted to do? And on page 145 of the Project 2025 specifically talks about how could the administration systematically slow down, or for lack of better words, end programs like the DACA without announcing an executive order like the administration did back in September 2017 and create that backlash. So within that is outlined to remove USAID agents from processing DACA applications and programs such as DACA. Therefore, there's going to be less resources for people to be able to process them, and then also add extra vetting protocols, such as bringing back the biometrics appointment. Again, right now, everybody who's applying for renewal is scheduled for biometric appointment. That's nothing other new. You shouldn't be worried about that. But we have seen is a delay of DACA recipients. So for context, back in 2023, when Biden was still in office, the average was about 30 days to process the DACA recipient application. When we started from January 2025 to October of 2025 during Trump's first year of his second term, it was about 70 days, according to data. Now, what we're seeing is, at least on the processing time on USCIS website, it says that 80% of the cases of DACA recipients are going to be adjudicated, making it resolved within 120 days or 4 months. But we have seen many cases, and I know personal individuals who have submitted for more than 6 months, and they have lost DACA status. And many of these individuals have had to take a leave of absence or their employer has fired them because they can no longer work legally. The other piece of it, I think that is important, is there's been several memos by USCIS around, and as well as DHS, around how they're going to process DACA. One of the more notable ones was in April, came from the BIA, which is the one that governs a lot of the processing in USCIS and immigration proceedings, specifically instructing judges and case officers that having DACA status does not guarantee you protection from deportation. It has to take a totality of the case. How many of us took it is that it is one step in weakening the strength of the program, because DACA has two main parts. The first one is protection from deportation if you don't commit a felony or significant misdemeanor and you renew your DACA on time. And the other one is a work permit, which allows us to get a Social Security, be able to get a job, a driver's license. Now that the first piece of it in terms of protection from deportation is being weakened. The next one that happened was in May 8th. That one was one around more the Deferred Action Program itself. It changed from humanitarian component to it into a more general piece. It's not directly going after the DACA program itself, but in our eyes, it sees that, in my eyes, actually, in Aliento's eyes, it means it's attack on the program and weaken it. Some of our partners like NILC and Forward and President's Alliance have provided some explainers online as well if you want to look at them more detailed. The other piece of it is, at least what we talk to attorneys, they're recommending individuals to submit, if your DACA expires within 8 months or 9 months, to submit it. Right now on USCIS, it says that if you submit your DACA application and the expiration date is over 150 days, aka 5 months, it's not going to expedite your DACA application, and they're not going to process it up until it gets to the window between 120 days and 150 days. my DACA expires in next year, so I submitted mine just out of the cautious precaution. The other piece of it is now their DACA applications no longer you can pay via cashier check, so you got to pay it online. So you have to create a USCIS account. It's $85 for the DACA renovation. It's $470 to submit it online for the work permit. And then it's $520 if you submit all the documents on paper. Again, if you have any more questions around DACA, you can always tag here on this and comment on this video. A developing story here in Arizona, in Tucson. Social media influencer Carla Toledo was arrested by DHS officers at her home, to our understanding, without a judicial warrant signed by a judge on May 18th. According to DHS, they were looking for another individual when they encounter Carla. Based on the video that we see, she asked about having a warrant. They did not have a warrant, so she asked them to get out their house. They did, and then she went out, and then once she was out, she was arrested. According to DHS, what they're saying is that on October 2024, Carla entered the country without permission. Therefore, they're also saying that she committed a crime, and that's what they're charging her, as well with assault of officers. Some of those are a little bit difficult to believe, given the comments that have been made previously up in Minneapolis of ICE agents, Border Patrol, saying that they were assaulted when evidence shows that it wasn't. Our understanding, conversations, at least that we know with some of the people who are familiar with the case, is that Carla did travel to Mexico on advance parole in 2024 and came back with advance parole, and they let her in. As well as the attorney mentioned that she was applying for DACA status and currently has DACA status, to our understanding. This is another reminder of, again, we do a lot of trainings for Know Your Rights, making sure that if an ICE agent, DHS, are coming to your home, make sure they have a warrant signed by a judge, a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Make sure that that warrant has your name. If it doesn't, they cannot enter your home. That will be violating the Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure. So I know they scream, they yell, they try to threaten you, but legally they cannot. And we have seen many, many times where DHS agents, including ICE agents, have violated the law in arresting U.S. citizens or people who are on temporary status like DACA or TPS or other individuals that they suspect. And I'm going to read this quote by DHS that says, illegal aliens who claim to be recipients of DACA are not automatically protected from deportations. DACA does not confer any form of legal status in this country. And goes on to say, any illegal alien who is a DACA recipient may be subject to arrest and deportation for any number of reasons, including if they had committed a crime. So again, this is one example of how the administration doesn't see the DACA program as a protection for deportation. So again, if you're a DACA recipient, make sure that you submit your DACA within 5 to 6 months. I'm recommending, and we're recommending 8 to 9 months. Make sure that you know your rights. Make sure ICE encounters, whether you're driving or in your home, make sure they have a warrant and make sure they're looking for you. If not, do not open the door. Make sure you have an attorney or are connected to a local organization. So if something like this happens, people can come out and support. Carla was connected to a local organization, had an attorney, which allowed people to organize and be sure to support. Currently, she's still being detained, and ICE says that they're not going to release her. Hopefully that changes, but I know that a lot of people are worried and concerned. And I'm worried and I'm concerned. My coping mechanism is to smile and try to laugh it out, because if I laugh, I think I feels better. But for all those DACA recipients right now and families who live with DACA recipients or individuals who live in a mixed status family who are fully undocumented, this is overwhelming. I just want to make sure that you know you're not alone. You have organizations like Aliento who are going to do our best to be able to support the community and keep advocating as much as we can. We know there are other local and national organizations who are going to keep doing that. Know that poll after poll, survey after survey, the American people support DACA recipients. And while this administration is taking these actions, and in my eyes currently violating the law, it doesn't mean that they're right. So just know you're not alone. Keep advocating, and Aliento's here for you. And if you have any questions, make sure to message us, specifically if it's private, DM, or if you have any general questions here in this video.